The Clock Tower Secret. Tom was a student from Canada. He came to London for summer holiday. He stayed in a small hotel near the River Thames. On his first day, he visited the famous Big Ben. The clock tower looked even bigger than in photos. A man in a black coat dropped a letter near Tom's feet. Tom picked it up and called the man, but the man ran away. The letter had only 3 words: "Don't trust the guide." Tom felt strange, but put the letter in his pocket. Later that afternoon, he joined a tour of Parliament. The tour guide was a woman named Sarah. She smiled a lot and knew many facts. But Tom remembered the letter. He watched her carefully. When the group walked past a locked door, Sarah paused for 10 seconds. Tom saw her press a hidden button on the wall. After the tour, Tom went back alone at night. He wanted to see the door again. Rain fell heavily. The street was dark and quiet. Suddenly, 2 men in black coats followed him. Tom ran fast into an old bookshop. An old woman behind the desk looked up. "Hide," she whispered, and opened a secret door in the floor. Tom climbed down into a tunnel under the city. The tunnel was old and full of dust. He found boxes with maps and radios. One map showed tunnels under Big Ben. Another note said, "Stop Project Nightingale." Tom realized the tour guides were part of a secret plan. They wanted to steal a valuable diamond hidden in the clock tower. Sarah was not a real guide. She was the leader. Tom used an old radio to call the police. But the 2 men found the tunnel entrance. Tom turned off his flashlight and crawled silently. He heard their voices echo in the dark. At last, he reached a ladder that led up into Big Ben. He climbed just as the clock struck midnight. Police arrived because of his call. They caught the criminals inside the tower. Sarah tried to escape, but Tom blocked her path. "I read your letter." The police thanked Tom and gave him a special pass to visit any time. Tom smiled. His holiday had become more exciting than he ever dreamed. Lost in Washington. Emma was a student from Japan. She came to Washington, D.C. for a summer trip. It was her first time in the United States. She wanted to visit the Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History. Her hotel was near Union Station. She walked out with her backpack and a big smile. The city was full of wide streets and tall buildings. She opened Google Maps on her phone. The blue dot showed where she was. A red pin marked the museum. Just 20 minutes by foot, she thought. She followed the map down Massachusetts Avenue. But after 10 minutes, the blue dot stopped moving. Her phone screen turned black. The battery was dead. Emma felt nervous. She didn't know the area. She saw a bus stop with people waiting. She took a deep breath and walked to a woman holding a newspaper. "Excuse me," Emma said. "Can you help me? I'm going to the Natural History Museum." The woman smiled. "Sure, you're going the right way. Keep walking straight, then turn left at the big park." "Thank you so much," Emma said. She continued walking, but soon the street looked different. Tall trees blocked the sun. There were no signs. She saw a coffee shop and went inside. "Hi," she said to the barista. "My phone is off. Can I charge it for a minute?" "Of course," the man said. "We have chargers over there." Emma plugged in her phone and waited 3 minutes. It turned on. Google Maps started again. But now the red pin was far away. She had gone the wrong way. The app said, "Recalculating route." Then it showed a new path. "Go back 2 blocks, turn right, cross the bridge, and walk past the White House fence." Emma followed the new directions carefully. She passed a park with ducks and a group of tourists taking photos. At a crosswalk, a police officer waved at her. She asked, "Is this still the way to the museum?" He checked his own phone and said, "Yes, only 5 more minutes." Finally, she saw the big columns and stone steps of the museum. She ran up the stairs and entered the hall with the giant dinosaur skeleton. She laughed and said, "I made it!" Later, she bought a small T-shirt at the gift shop that said, "I found my way in D.C." Back at the hotel, she charged her phone fully. She saved the museum's address in her favorites. Next time, she would bring a power bank. But she was proud. She learned how to ask for help and never give up. The same rain. Lena lived in a big city with tall buildings and busy streets. She worked as a cleaner in an office building every night. In the morning, she went home to a small apartment on the edge of town. Her daughter, Mia, was 8 years old and loved school. Mia's school was far from their home, but it had good teachers. One day, heavy rain flooded many parts of the city. The rich neighborhood on the hill stayed dry, but Lena Street turned into a river. Water came into their apartment and ruined their floor and clothes. They had to move to a temporary shelter. The shelter was crowded, with families sleeping on mats. Mia missed her books and her bed. At school, her classmates talked about vacations and new phones. No one knew she was living in a shelter. She didn't want to tell them. She was afraid they would treat her differently. Meanwhile, Mr. Carter, a businessman, lived in a luxury apartment downtown. His son, James, went to the same school as Mia. Mr. Carter complained on TV about the city's poor drainage system. "But why should I pay more taxes to fix problems in areas I never go to?" he said. Lena heard this while cleaning his office one night. She felt angry, but said nothing. The next week, Mia's class had a project. How can we make our city better? Students worked in groups. By chance, Mia and James were in the same group. At first, James didn't talk to Mia much. But when they met at the park to discuss ideas, it started to rain again. This time, the rain flooded the park near the rich area, too. Children playing soccer ran for cover. James said, "Even here? I thought only poor places flood." Mia looked at him. "The rain doesn't know who is rich or poor," she said. James was quiet. Later, their group made a presentation. Mia spoke bravely about clean water, safe homes, and fair help after disasters. She said, "Everyone should live without fear, no matter where they sleep." The class clapped. Even James smiled and said, "You're right." The teacher sent the best projects to the city mayor. Mia's group won first place. The city promised to improve drainage in all neighborhoods, not just some. Mr. Carter read the news and saw his son's name on the winning team. He asked James what they had learned. James said, "Dad, the rain falls on everyone, so help should too." That night, Mr. Carter wrote a letter to the city council. He supported higher taxes for equal infrastructure. Lena read about it in a newspaper at work. She didn't know his name, but she smiled and said, "Maybe change is possible." Outside, the sun rose over the city, shining on every roof the same.